Good morning, everyone. So in today's class, we are going to discuss about what are client-side scripting and server-side scripting. What are the different languages that support client-side scripting and server-side scripting? So let us start with the client-side scripting. Important client-side scripting, we can use either JavaScript or VB script. We can use either JavaScript or VB script for designing client-side program, or scripting is nothing but a software program. So what exactly client-side scripting used for? They often used for three things, that is validation, interactivity, coming to the next one is enhancing the web page. Enhancing the web page. So how we are going to enhance the web page regarding validation and interactivity we will be discussing. First of all, how we can say that, okay, let us come one by one, how validation will be done. Validation, why we need validation? Validation is used majorly for reducing the number of trips, number of trips to the server. Okay. What do you mean by without validation? If you are not using any validation skills, so what happens is number of times the client who is trying to connect to the server, he may take much more in validations. So If we are not using validation, there are a lot of steps will be involved in. So many times the servers will be requested with lot of information, and in the time being, the client used to connect to the server for the number of times it has to request. So to reduce the number of trips to the server, the validation is made. So let us say that for single validation, okay, without validation, what are the possibilities? Let us think that initially name username has entered. So for that purpose, first trip to the server will be made. Next, password. For that, there will be some kind of a next captcha or some kind of a key. So the number of times it has been visited. So if you provide only one at a time, what happens? The number of visits will be three. But if you are providing all the details in one page, so what happens? Only one visit will be done. So it will be reducing the number of trips to the server by giving validations. Now coming to the interactivity, what does it say? Interactivity is nothing but the client is able to connect it to the server, or he is trying to make some kind of a actions or events generated, like something clicking on the buttons or submitting reports or playing games online or some kind of other things also. So all this requires client and server to be connected or interacted with each other. So clicking means you are connecting to the server to get a response for it. Similarly, submitting the details, it will be storing onto the server. And if you want to see the details, it will be again viewed on the client. So this is how interactivity is done. Now coming to the last one, enhancing the web page. So enhancing a web page can be done by adding so many things, features into it, like adding ActiveX controls and something like PHTML, and we are also adding some kind of a applets which are related to Java. So what happens is by using this different types of features added to a web page or ASP pages here. Okay, we are trying to discuss about ASP pages. If we add these kind of natures to ASP pages, what will be happening? So it can enhance the web page which can be viewed. Okay. So what are ActiveX controls or components? So when you discuss about ActiveX controls, these are nothing but they are included in your web browsers at client side. What happens whenever you are trying to access any web page? So what does it have? Let us say that the web page is trying to play a video. Okay, it is trying to play a video. It is a one kind of a ActiveX control feature which is added to the web page. So to allow your browser to play that video, you need to install ActiveX controls. So what does it mean? It makes by ActiveX controls, you are giving permissions to the one of the program to access your to access your PC or the web browser. Okay, so it will take control. It will take control of your web browser and it will try to use the resources at your end, at the client side. So because it is playing on the web browser being displayed into your system called as a client system. So the active control feature will take control over your PC and it will make the video to play by using the resources which it needs on your PCs. So with this, we can say that the enhancement of the web pages can be provided. What else a client server scripting can do? So whenever one more point, it has to be noted that whenever a client script can access the browser, so what will it do? It accesses the browser and uses specific features. Uses specific features which are related to the browsers and also they will manipulate browser documents. Okay. These are all about the client side scripting and they have some of the limitations also. Okay. Client side also has some limitations, that is client side scriptings are browser dependent. So they are browser dependent. These are limitations. They all are browser dependent. So another limitation is that whichever document has been viewed on the browser, they will display or the users can view the code on the browser. So it is nothing but whenever you are able, if you are viewing a web page in your browser, you right click it, okay. After that, right click them, you have a feature something like this. Here you have view page source. View page source, it means that it will show you the source code of the particular page. That is the limitation which we have according to client side scripting. So let me write some of the differences. Let me write here client server side scripting. Okay. So let me write some of the differences between client side and server side. One second. So according to the client scripting, first point we can say that so it works at runtime. So when you and one more thing, next point, it is visible to users. Just now I told you view page source. It is visible to users. Next, coming to run on or runs on client browsers. Now coming to the next point, depends on browser's version also. Next point we can also say that it includes languages like okay, to write client scripting. It includes languages like HTML along with CSS as well as JavaScript. And also VBScript also, but not mostly. It can use VBScript also at client side, but VBScript is used at both ends, either client side or server side. And the client side scripting reduces the load on server. Now coming to the next point, so it is considered to be less secure when compared to the server side. Now coming to the server side scripting, some of the points which can be noted here. So works at server end or back end, we can say. So to make server to work, client is responsible for that. Client actually does not depend on clients. I write something like this. Does not depend on clients. Coming to the next one, will be run on web server. So as I told you, according to client, it will be run on browser client side. But whereas server, it will be web server. And the server responsibility is to respond to the client whenever request comes. Okay. Now coming to, and it is not visible to the clients Next point, it can be noted that so it requires languages that can be used to design the server-side scripting are PHP, Perl, and we have Python and Ruby, and also we can use some other languages like VBScript also for the basic server-side scripting. And it is a secure way of accessing. It is secure when compared to the client-side scripting. It's very much secure. So it also provides dynamic nature. And one more point it can be mentioned here is customization of website also possible. Customizing of pages will be done. What do you mean by customizing? Customizing is nothing but whatever client requests. Okay, clients, whenever a client requests to a particular data, only specific data is needed. So the server will be processing the request in such a way that it can be given as it is, whatever client is requested, only part of the data. So these are some of the differences that can be noted among client server and server side, client side and server side scriptings. Now coming to the next thing is file system objects. Another important topic is file system objects. Okay. What are these file system objects? Actually, they will provide the programmer with, okay, those who are programmer, it will provide programmers with some kind of a ability, programmer with ability to work with or to manipulate with files, manipulate with files, comma, directories, comma, drives. So file system object is nothing but whatever file systems will contain. What exactly a file system will contain? A file system will contain files, directories as well as drives. So whenever we discuss about file system objects as part of ASP design, so the programmer has the capability to access the files, directories and drives regarding particular PC based on the request that has been made by the client system or the server system. So next important feature according to file system objects. So what does it do? It allows the programmer to read and write the text. Okay. And FSOs are FSOs are an important element of ASP design. Important element of ASP design with data storage or persistent data. Persistent data is nothing but the database. Okay. So files, directories, and drives are storage area. Through the storage area, this ASP will be accessing the data. Okay, FSO are implemented are important element of ASP with the persistent data. Okay. So, FSOs are nothing but they are in Microsoft library. Okay, they are Microsoft scripting runtime libraries. So FSOs are part of Microsoft MSRL. So they are part of SSOs are part of this library. It means they are part of this particular, or we can say package. It is one kind of a package through which we can access the files, drives, and directories. Now, according to this, FSOs are in 5 types. So there are 5 types of SSOs are there. Yeah, 5 types of SSOs are there. First one is file system object. Second one is first one, second one regarding file. Third one folder. Fourth one we have drive, and fifth one we have text stream. So these are the different objects, file system objects through which ASP can be designed. So file system object will be there, files are there, folders are there, drives are there, text streams are there. So these are the different 5 types of file system objects as part of Microsoft scripting runtime libraries. So type, every FSOS types are having in turn different types of features also. Properties and different types of methods are also available regarding these objects. We will be discussing this in the next class. Thank you, one and all.